And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Hello, I'm Eric Holloway with the National Weather Service with Alaska weather for July 10th, 2023. A couple options for you. 1-800 number gets you out on a menu system. And we also are out on the World Wide Web at weather.gov/Alaska. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please email us. For the hazardous weather, we have a warning. Let's start off with the warning in the northeastern Brooks Range out until 10 p.m. And that's basically for many of those rivers draining the northeast Brooks Range, including the Sag, Anaktuvik, and the Adigan River. And again, of course, the Sag River. Pretty good rainfall amounts over there over the weekend with 2 to 3 inches recorded in some of those areas. Also, we have a watch for much of that northeastern Brooks Range and along the Beaufort Sea coast, both the central and eastern Beaufort Sea coast. And again, that watch is out until 10 p.m. this evening. For fire danger, we do have some grasses that are picking up in the dryness category over there in the eastern interior, where all the dryness and the heat for the last couple of days. Also, some of that dryness extends down into the Panhandle. You can see some of those areas down in the Panhandle, but especially in the eastern interior. But otherwise, wet conditions throughout much of the mainland down to the west, as you can see for today. For the satellite image, you can see a weak low just east of the eastern Aleutians there, driving some rain showers through the Alaska Peninsula and some cloudiness across much of the western mainland and into the interior with a trough approaching that area. But again, we'll set this in motion, and you can see that we have a surface low pressure system there, 1,003 millibars, and again, pushing eastward through the western mainland, driving a lot of the shower activity. Light and steady rain through much of the western mainland and down through portions of south central Alaska with that cloudiness. And then there's that low in the eastern Aleutians, 1,004 millibars there. With an occluded front out there in the Gulf of Alaska, high pressure, 1,021 millibars there, with that poking into the Gulf. And again, providing the Panhandle with another nice day down there. Otherwise, eastern interior is pretty nice as well. And then we have a ridge of high pressure out in there in Bering Sea, 1,010 millibars there. And you can see some cloudiness associated with that with the marine stratus. And then tonight's weather, we're looking at that trough pushing east through the interior and in through the west mainland, driving some lingering rain in that area. But otherwise, some low pressure system. As that system comes into the Gulf, 1,005 millibars there with an occluded front, driving some rain showers through the northern Gulf and into south central. Again, some cloudiness associated with that low. Otherwise, 1,020 millibars out there in the Bering Sea, driving some marine stratus associated with that system. The Panhandle will see at least another day affected by that ridge that will be heading south as that system comes into the Gulf, but otherwise, another nice day associated with that into tonight for the Panhandle and continued nice weather across the eastern interior. Then for Tuesday's weather, that trough continues to push east through the interior, driving some lingering rain showers associated with that system. Also some Arctic fog along the Arctic coast there. And then we also have that ridge continuing to push east as the next system comes into the western Aleutian, but 1,026 millibars there with that ridge of high pressure centered over the eastern Aleutians, and it'll be poking into the western mainland, driving some clearing conditions across that area, but otherwise 1,007 millibars there in the Gulf of Alaska, bringing some lingering rain in the Gulf, and should be seeing some cloudiness showing up over the Panhandle with that ridge continue to affect that area, but again, we'll see some cloudiness with that next system coming into the Panhandle for Tuesday. And then lastly, for Wednesday's weather, the next system coming in from the western Aleutians, driving into the Bering Sea, but that ridge of high pressure poking into the western mainland, driving some clearing conditions and dryness across much of that region. and that should extend over into south central. And with that low in the Gulf of Alaska, should bring some cloudiness to the panhandle, but otherwise that low out there in the Yukon Territory will drive some thunderstorms out that region, and it should poke into the eastern interior with some thunderstorms there for Wednesday. But again, the overall theme will be that ridge over the west, driving some clearing and drying conditions for across the west and into south central. As we look at temperatures for Tuesday morning, we're going to be looking at 50s, 55 for Ketchikan, 52 for Sitka, 50 for Juneau, 53 in Haines, Yakutat 49. Again, this is for low temperatures Tuesday morning. And then 51 in Anchorage, 50 in Homer, 50 in Kodiak. And then we'll see some 51 in King Salmon. And then up there in Talkeetna, 51. Then for high temperatures Tuesday afternoon, we're looking at 66 for Ketchikan, 61 for Sitka, 64 for Juneau, 66 in Haines, 55 in Yakutat, Valdez 58, 61 in Talkeetna, 61 in Anchorage, 58 in Homer, 54 in Kodiak, King Salmon 63, and McGrath 59. Swinging back to low temperatures Wednesday morning, looking at 53 for Ketchikan, 52 for Sitka, 51 in Juneau, 52 in Haines, 50 in Yakutat, Valdez 50, 54 in Anchorage, 51 in Homer, 51 in Kodiak, 51 in King Salmon, 53 in Talkeetna, and 49 over there in McGrath. High temperatures Wednesday afternoon, looking at 69. Look at those nice temperatures over there in the Panhandle. 62 in Sitka, 68 in Juneau, 68 in Haines, 60 in Yakutat, Valdez 58, 67 in Anchorage, 60 in Homer, 61 in Kodiak, 72 in King Salmon, 71 in Talkeetna, and 68 out there in McGrath. Up through the North Slope and interior, looking at 54 in Eagle, 53 in Eagle, 55 in Fairbanks, Fort Yukon 55, Anaktuva Pass 46, Ukqiavik 38, Point Hope 44, Nome 47, Galena 50, and 50 in Tanana. For high temperatures Tuesday afternoon, 84 in Eagle, 79 in Fort Yukon, 74 in Fairbanks, Anaktuva Pass 61, Ukqiavik 40, Point Hope 52, and 58 in Nome, 64 in Galena, 64 in Tanana. Low temperatures Wednesday morning, looking at 57 for Eagle, 56 in Fort Yukon, and then 30s along the Arctic coast, 46 in Nome, 50 in Galena. And then for high temperatures Wednesday afternoon, 77 in Eagle, 75 in Fort Yukon, 70 in Fairbanks, 41 in Ukqiavik, Nome 56, down to the southwest and Alaska Peninsula, 48 in Aniak, Cold Bay 46, Shemya 46, St. Paul 43. High temperature for Tuesday afternoon, 64 in Aniak, Cold Bay 57, 56 in Dutch Harbor, Shemya 50, and St. Paul 55. Low temperatures Wednesday morning, 48 in Aniak, 45 in Cold Bay, 48 in Dutch Harbor, 46 in Shemya, 44 in St. Paul. And lastly, for high temperatures Wednesday afternoon, 69 in Aniak, 59 in Cold Bay, 59 in Dutch Harbor, 51 in Shemya, and 54 in St. Paul. The CPC 6 to 10 day temperature outlook for July 16th through 20th, looking at high temperatures, increasing chances for above normal temperatures across the mainland and into the northern panhandle. Again, for 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, and then for precip, lingering precip chances tilts toward above normal precip across much of the west and into the interior.